A few weeks ago, my friend and I were discussing martial arts, and we were relating it to sports and how martial arts can be done no matter one's physical limitations. This is kind of a different discussion than with sports because when one starts to get older, there's less ability to do certain sports and there's also less of that other practitioners doing it as well. So you don't find, for instance, an older basketball team, or you don't find an older soccer team, because it becomes harder and harder to do sports. And the difference being with martial arts is that martial arts has something for everyone, no matter what their struggle may be. Also, with martial arts, it's actually based on promotions can actually happen because of time spent on the mat. That's a contributing factor to why your belt ranks happen. So it's not for just the young individual. It's for people who are developing this over time, developing this craft. And whereas with, for instance, basketball, usually your time spent in basketball is limited to potentially your career in high school, or you might make it to the college level too. But when that's over and you're done with those two aspects of your life, then your time doing basketball tends to be over. And also, it's so difficult, basketball especially, to do it when you are aging. There's so much pivotal movements, and there's so many different maneuvers and split-second reactions you need to make. So it's an incredibly difficult sport to do when you're getting older as well. A difference between sport and martial art is that with martial arts, the level of connection between athletes in martial arts can be deeper. This is for two reasons. One of which would be that the longevity is improved. So you can be doing martial arts into your 50s. You can be starting martial arts in your 50s. You can be doing martial arts in some form, as long as you're alive, you can be doing some kind of martial arts. Whereas with sports, you are going to meet these people and you're going to be on a team, but you might only be on a team doing this basketball or soccer or what have you for maybe 5 years, maybe more, maybe a little more, maybe a little less than that. But with martial arts, you can come back to it as well. You could even take a few years off and then get back into martial arts, and you'll still have a gym to go to. Whereas with soccer, you have to have a whole bunch of people getting together in order to do that, and you're less likely to have a community built around soccer. The second reason would be that the sport of martial arts and just the nature of it can be so much more, there's so much more on the line. You're getting kind of built up on adrenaline, and you're actually, when you're sparring with someone or competing against someone, you're really going after each other, and you're really trying to do techniques that have a basis in self-defense. And it's it's a me versus another person scenario, whereas it's not so much of a team thing. It's not my team versus your team, and we don't go about it that way where it's a me versus another person. And I had my team who helped me get ready for this particular contest, but it's ultimately me versus them. And this can really make you have a deep affinity for people, because you train alongside each other for contests that have a lot on the line potentially. And lastly, I would discuss like ways with that basketball and soccer and all of your other team sports can also be particularly better and healthier in some ways than martial arts. Because if, say, a soccer game gets rough, there's only so far that can go. You're only potentially being rough doing soccer, kicking the ball, and you might be running into each other too. But it's not, there's not as much on the line. But with martial arts, it's so much more important to maintain a healthy culture, because if a sparring session goes wrong, then it can be a very dangerous situation, and you're doing these techniques that have a basis in self-defense and really hurting somebody. And this gives us a kind of unity, but it's really important that we keep whatever building we are in and whatever organization we're a part of healthy. We need a healthy relationship between our teammates, or this can like diverge into a very awful environment. And also, if we get a new person on like our soccer team, we can enculture them into how to play the game and how to do this and how to do that. And if they go too hard, then they're only just going to run out of gas, and they might or might not like play too rough with their other person, and something might happen like that. But when you get a new person into a martial arts team, then you have to really make sure that they know what they're doing, because this newcomer can go too rough with something and then put one of your really good guys out of commission for a month or more, based on if they really yanked something or if they just didn't know what they were doing and fell the wrong way. Like these newcomers, these people who are just coming to the gym, who just starting out, just don't know what they're doing, and their intuitions and their ways of approaching situations are just erratic. You don't know what to expect. So you need to really get your newcomers into the right spot in order to function on your team. And you also need to keep your current teammates happy and healthy with each other, or else something bad can come about from that too. So the culture is so much more important to get right in a martial arts school. So these have been my thoughts on this topic, but I'd be very interested in what everyone else thought, especially people who have done more in sports, in your basketball and your soccer and things of that nature. Like for me, I only did soccer for a few years, and that's been my only experience with with these kind of team-based sports. So it's not an area that I'm an expert in, but I've been doing my martial arts for forever, so I kind of thought it would be interesting to try to compare the two and make a good topic for this video, and everyone might want to hear it as well. So if you've liked this content, then please make sure to like the video and subscribe for more. But thank you.